Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm gamesplaining New York Zoo. So New York Zoo is a 1 to 5 player game from Capstone Games. It is designed by Uwe Rosenberg, which I'm hoping you all are aware of. Uwe, he's done so many games that it's really hard to miss his stuff, but he is probably best known for Agricola and similar games. We noticed a couple of years back that Uwe started doing polyomino games. He started back with Patchwork, but it's really come into its own around the time of Feast for Odin. He started doing a whole bunch of games that use these polyomino pieces. And let's be honest, New York Zoo is one of those polyomino piece games. He did a release of 3 games that had this kind of polyomino central core idea. One of them was Cottage Garden, those kinds of games. Now, from memory, I did the gameplay for Cottage Garden, and for the second one in the series, I didn't bother even touching the third one. And I was just a bit bored with it, to be honest with you. It felt like, yeah, it's just a game, blah. New York Zoo uses similar ideas, but it isn't blur. That's my instinct on it anyway. What you're doing is you are filling up a area of your board with these polyomino pieces, and you're putting little animals onto those, and then you're breeding those animals, and once you fill up a area, you take all those animals off and you put in a little market or a roller coaster or a something to fill up the little extra spaces. So what you end up doing with this game is you have that choice between getting more animals or getting more spots to put onto your board. The deal is that the spots that you put onto your board, the polyominoes, you need to have at least 1 animal, if not 2, to put onto that spot. And so finding that balance between getting animals and getting areas of your board filled is actually really crucial with this game. I've found that it's really nice. The whole game is an elephant moving around these different spots. You can move up to 4 spaces, or if you're playing a 3 or 5 player game, you can move 3 spaces. And whenever it crosses over certain areas, there's a breeding. So if you have on your board 2 of that type of animal in the same field, then you can breed a 3rd one or another one. Little stuff like that. It's really worthwhile to kind of dig into. And what I've found is there's a couple of different ways that you could play the game. You could play the game with trying to fill up this spot, then try to fill up this spot, then try to fill up this spot. And by doing that, you'll get the larger of these bonus tiles so you can fill up more of your area. Or you could play to, oh, I'm going to get 2 onto this spot to breed. Once you have 2 extra guys, so 4 on a spot, you could then put those 2 onto another spot. So when you breed, those 2 are going to breed. And building up and trying to just get contained breeding and building up and up and up to get these spots totally full, or as full as you can without overfilling them, because as soon as they're over full or full up, you need to remove all of the animals that you've managed to get in to those spots. And so using that thing of I can take a new plan in and get 2 off this, and now there's 2 more spots I've got there that can now be filled up, so that every time we go past one of those breeding spots, at least two different fields are getting the extra guys into them. It's a really worthwhile thing. So finding a balance between those 2 elements is actually really important. I've played this a couple of times, and I've been quite close with the opposition when we got to the end of the game. Just both are within a turn or 2 of finishing at the same time. And that doesn't really matter on which way they've gone, as long as they're kind of using the best manipulations that they can think of, they're going to get through and they're going to do really well. This game has wooden animal characters, which I quite like. I really like the look of them, but it feels weird that the penguin has a white spot on its belly on one side and then all black on the other side. I understand that it probably should be that because that's what penguins look like, but it feels weird. I don't know why. It may just be me looking for more like the animal. So this is the penguin piece. It looks fine. When you turn around, it's all black. It feels like there should be that white on both sides. But then if you're white on both sides, then there's two bellies. It may just be that the penguin is facing to the side, so it looks like it should be the front of it on both. I don't know what it is, but something about whenever I've played, I've gone, oh, that feels a bit cheap. It's not. I understand that why they've done it that way, but it's still on the table. I don't know. I actually don't know what the thing on that one is, but I do quite like the pieces. As I say, they're solid pieces of wood, like meeples, but on animal shapes. There are 6 different animals in the box, and those animals, you know, they keep turning around, they keep getting more and more and more. I've found that this is quite a good game. I really appreciate it. You'll find that the gameplay is relatively short compared to other ones I've been doing recently, and it's because the understanding of the game is quite straightforward. However, in the rulebook, there's moments where you're kind of like, oh, hang on, do you mean this? And you have to read the extra stuff. You know, they have extra, this is what I mean by this, or little things in italics. I feel like you have to read those bits on this rulebook to understand the extra little things that can come in as you're playing. It is a relatively straightforward game, but understanding the little stuff is really important to how everything kind of comes together. And this is probably the only big issue with this game, is there's a whole bunch of little stuff of if you do that, you'll get an extra guy. You can't move the animals out of here unless you've got this and this. There's that can do if this is happening, or can't do unless this other thing is happening. Those little nuance things, they make this game work, but they are a little bit awkward to find the way through. In essence, you are moving the elephant, you're taking the tile, or you're taking the animals. If the animals fill up a spot, then you're getting the bonus, and you put one of those animals over to the side. It keeps coming back to this, but make sure you only move 2 animals. So if you're taking animals in, you can move an animal out of these huts. If it's the same as these other animals, if you've got 2 over there, you're only going to be able to move 1 of them. There's a lot of nuance that, you know, it's necessary nuance, but it still feels nuancy is probably the best way to put it. So look, I'll leave it there. If you have any games that you would like to be Gamesplained, please shoot me an email to thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter @thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.